I can't say that now.
Anyways,
this dude's trying to get me fired.
Definitely trying to get you fired.
Hold on. I want to see if it's... there it is. All right.
Yeah.
So, share it too?
Yeah, sure.
Welcome to Our Thoughts, Your Thoughts. A show where we talk about the things you want to talk about.
Things you don't want to talk about. Why you give me a spoon for?
Oh, just in case, man, you might thank me later, okay? You might thank me later.
Okay, man, big guys don't use utensils. Bun that. But anyway, sorry about that. Welcome to Our Thoughts, Your Thoughts. Who is this? We have Ottawa's own, Hamilton Tiger Cat's own, Mr. Jackson Bennett. Welcome to the show, my friend. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, man.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for being in the lab. Don't mind all the foolishness that's going to happen. I apologize ahead of time.
It's all fun.
So word on the street is you're not going to be eating any of this sweet?
I can't. No, camp's coming soon. I gotta...
Just one day. One day won't kill it, man.
I can't. It looks so good, though.
Yo, Rob is that guy. Everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
You're that guy. You're Mr. Peer Pressure.
But
My goodness.
I think it's because he's a DB. You're a DB for sure. DBs and receivers are like the pretty boys of football. They care about how they look, how they feel, and all that stuff, right? You never see an O-line care about wearing earrings or wearing a Hustle World shirt or anything like that, right? If we put any sweets in front of an O-line guy, guess what? They're going to eat it down. Isn't that what happened with the other O-line guests we had before?
Which one was it?
O-line and D-line.
Which one?
Kevin and...
Oh, Kevin. Yeah, they're both O-line.
Yeah?
They're both big boys. Very true. But that's cool, man. So, you're going into your second season, right, with Hamilton. Mm-hmm. What are you expecting now that you didn't expect before? Or, what are you anticipating this year that you weren't anticipating before?
I mean, everything will probably be, relatively kind of, things will be a little, obviously, I'll have more experience too, so things will be more like smoother in that sense. Mm-hmm. But other than that, we have the same goal, same kind of mindset, same everything. So it's a matter of kind of gelling the team together, and being a vet too. I kind of have, gotta lead the rookies a little bit too,
Okay. Second year, you're already a vet.
I gotta have that mentality, It's a leader kind of thing,
No, it makes sense. What was the thing that caught you the most off guard when you were a rookie?
When I was a rookie, the amount of time spent, because in college we spent a lot of time on special teams film, but special teams film and film in general too, offense and defense. Film breakdown and kind of the mental part of the game was a lot more like in depth. So that was really cool to see, and obviously that's kind of another step you got to take in the CFL and the pros.
Very cool.
Speaking of the pros, I'm like most kids who play sports young, they always think they're gonna make pro. Mm-hmm. How did you know you were gonna make pro?
I didn't. I had my goal. I always like to say to myself when I'm training, I don't have a dream, I have a goal, because goal you obtain, and dreams, you dream about it, So that was one of my things I like to say to myself. But when I was younger, obviously, I thought about playing pro so much, and I was playing so many sports, and obviously I fell in love with football. That's why I'm here in the CFL. But you just put the time in, you sacrifice, discipline, everything you get to do to get there, and you gotta do the work, and things come to play.
So when you first found out you're actually going to make the league, what was that like? Where were you at?
So we were blessed enough to have it at Titan Performance Center with Joey, my trainer that I've been training with for a while now. So we had it all there. They have a really nice facility. It's basically a big hockey rink. So they have 3 rinks. And then upstairs we have our gym, and then they have this kind of bar. I'm not sure, not bar. It's kind of more of a restaurant, and it had a lot of space for us to kind of host it and stuff. So we just had it on TV, and had a bunch of family friends over, and a bunch of my teammates too. Yeah, it was sweet. It was a lot of fun.
Ottawa, you.
Yeah,
that's dope, man. That's dope.
And when they call out your name, how did that feel, man?
it was so like, I've been waiting for that for like a long time now, and kind of that like last year was kind of, you know, everybody's talking to you about, you know, CFL. You get talked to a bunch of teams and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You get approached a lot. You know, social media is going up a little more, so it's kind of getting like more real, and then obviously when it hits, you're like, this is it, man. Like I have a job now. This is, you know, you're getting paid to do this, so it's a different step, but it was sweet.
That's
That's
dope.
dope. That's dope. I can tell you right now, I knew when he was gonna go pro. I'll tell you right now, I knew. He's humble, so it's cool. I knew when he was gonna go pro when my buddy Paul Deek, he was coaching the Dukes, I believe it was, or the Bengals. I can't remember, but he asked me to come and help coach the D line. I came, helped out coach one day, and then he's like, championship game is on Saturday. Like, can you come coach again? And I was like, all right, fine. And I had met him before, but he's like, yo, Jackson, and you were a running back at the time. And he's like, yo, you know, can you come and watch? And, you can coach up the guys at the same time. Long story short, the boy scored 7 touchdowns by himself.
Oh, man.
And I'm not over-exaggerating. I know you're humble, so I'm going to say it for you. So when he did that, I was like, that boy good. I was like, that boy good. So right there, I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to go pro. It's just a matter of time. We have Jeanette Grimshaw already saying, Oski wee wee Jackson.
Hey. Oski Wawa.
Oh, man. So before we move forward, shout out to Lana from Oh My Cheesecakes, because our boy Tyrone saw the cheesecakes and he's like, yo, they look delicious. So shout out to Lana for these delicious cheesecakes. We'll share her information, but man, these things are amazing, guys.
Yeah.
So, you know, today's show, as usual, is sponsored to you by diabetes, except with Jackson. But we are going to be enjoying. Man, we some grown dudes, man. Like we done dad bods. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Lana. But with that being said, what song are you vibing to right now? Like when you're working out or you're in the car, like what's the one song right now that you're like, yo, it's on repeat. It's on repeat.
I mean, when I'm in the gym, I have like all my, my kind of rap songs, hip hop songs, all that stuff. But sometimes I like to, turn back the clock a little bit.
Okay.
I've been vibing to this one song called "Oh Honey," Delegations. From the 70s. So
okay.
It's kind of like a cruising vibe. Very chill.
Okay.
It's very slow, but it's pretty sweet.
Okay.
What's your song?
Delegations. Okay. You know what? Before I give my song of the week, I want to give a huge shout out because we just mentioned Tyrone, aka Hueso, who just put out his debut single, Popular Demand. Dope track, so you guys go check it out on Spotify and everywhere. Representing the 613, man. Popular Demand by Hueso featuring J. King. Dope song. And also another artist representing the 613 that you were involved in the creative process happens to be my brother, Mr. Erupt, with his joint Who Cares. Dope track as well, representing the 613, so you guys go check that out on Spotify. We got to show some love to the 613 dudes doing their thing.
Yeah, there is talent in the city.
There is talent in the city. Not just athletes, but all around talent.
Yeah.
All right? So, with that being said, my song of the week. Let's see. I was gonna say that track that we've been talking about, but I'm gonna leave it to you.
No. Go ahead. I got
you got your own?
I got my own. Man.
Okay, so my track of the week is "Devil's Work" by Joyner Lucas. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. This like you said, like this guy lyrically, he's on another level.
Yeah, he's definitely born in the wrong era.
Absolutely.
Like lyricism is on point. Dude is dropping names. He's saying, why did God take Tupac? Why doesn't he take Suge Knight instead?
Yo, that's deep. that's messed up. That's messed up. You can imagine you're listening to that song, you're like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What do you mean you want me to be dead?
Dude, the whole song is kind of like that.
Yeah,
it's just name dropping and then telling you who should have got.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead. It's so dope.
Waste was saying Joyner is on steroids.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like I think Joyner's more like of a Nas type. He's
Yeah.
gonna be in it for the long term.
Yeah.
He may not have those number one songs all the time,
Yeah.
but he's always gonna steadily give you dopeness.
Unless he gets taken out for telling the truth. But we'll see.
And
What's
his
song?
videos are crazy.
Yes, they are. Yes,
Like
they are.
most of the videos, he directs himself or co-directs.
That's dope.
Like he's really, really good.
That's dope. That's dope.
Old School Track by Joe Budden, Up in the Club
Okay, is it his song?
with Marcus Houston.
I think it's Marcus Houston's song.
AKA Batman from Immature.
Oh
Yeah.
Lord.
Oh, Me Too.
Hashtag me too.
Hashtag Me Too.
Wasn't that produced by R. Kelly? That song? No, I'm so serious. I'm pretty sure it was produced by R. Kelly.
What does that say about me?
Oh Lord.
Damn,
It means
yo.
you're an old head who can separate the art from the artist.
Yes.
That's what it tells me.
You have two, like, quote unquote pedophiles on one song. Damn.
Not Joe Budden. Not Joe
No,
Budden.
not
Not
Joe.
Budden. Not
Marcus
Budden.
Houston. But did you hear about R. Kelly? His lawyer says that he actually can't read.
No, he said he can't read.
Crazy.
I think he said he
Like
can't
it's
read.
it's more real hearing it from his lawyer than hearing it from him.
We're like whatever, Rob. Whatever,
Yeah.
Rob. Whatever.
No, call him R. Kelly.
Oh, I'm sorry because you guys have the same name.
Yeah, I can't be
I'm sorry.
that close.
Yeah,
to
but
my
you're not Robert. You're Roberto.
Doesn't matter. It's too close.
Fair enough. Oh man. So obviously we're on social media right now, and one of the biggest news stories on social media has been that in Canada they're testing out not showing the total number of likes or views now
On
when
Instagram.
you're- On Instagram.
Yeah.
On Instagram. What do you think about that?
It's very interesting. I feel like, when you go on somebody's profile and see like all those likes and views and stuff, you're like, wow, it's like sometimes it's intimidating to like some people, but that kind of takes away that factor, and it kind of puts everybody, I feel like, on the same level.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know like that
Yeah.
kind of sense, but
Yeah.
it's cool that they're trying that out, though, in my opinion. But
It's like a participation trophy for everybody.
Mm.
It's bullshit, man. Come on, man. Like, I told my kids, they said that they want to play basketball. I said, okay, I'll put you on a basketball team, but you got to try out. You may not make the team. Says, that's not fair. Dude, there's some people who put quality content out,
Yeah.
they deserve to get all the likes, and they deserve to have the love that people show them.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
that's true. Yeah.
But the idea of it being on social, like people get validation through the likes. If you take
Yeah.
that away, then what's the point? They're gonna try to get it somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
Like if you put something up, you're hoping people enjoy what you did.
Mhm.
But how do you know people do enjoy it?
Yeah.
If it doesn't show for others to see it, right?
I mean, you can see like your own.
Your own,
Yeah.
likes and
your
views.
own. But others can't see that.
Yeah.
But
It's
it'll
like
ta-
a
but it'll-
bragging right.
But it'll take the jealousy out of it, I guess. I think that's the.
People will be jealous.
No,
son.
don't come at me all swollen chest and stuff. I'm just saying what it is. That's all I'm just saying. I'm saying some people might scroll down and be like, why does that person have 100 views or 100 likes? And I don't know why I'm talking like that. But why does the person? Why is that person? Why? What do they have that I don't have or whatever? So, but I do agree that if we'll make people focus on their craft a little bit more, because now like they can't say like, oh well, my goal is to get to 2,000 likes because they have 1,000 likes because you don't know how many likes they have.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm curious, like business wise, how does that work? Because for brands and stuff, and even brand ambassadors, like they rely on their on the results and their output, right?
Mhm.
So honestly, like you're a pro baller, you can be, and you are an influencer. So without the likes on your thing, how are you gonna sell your brand to make even more dough than you are now?
Yeah.
Right. Without anybody seeing that, like what would be some of your options if that's the case?
It kind of limits you to kind of now your follower count. That's like the biggest thing now. Like since they took away the likes and views, like now the number one thing is like followers and stuff. And if you're a professional athlete or a big figure on Instagram, it'll be like the blue check too, and things like that. So it kind of makes it more focused on those two things, in my opinion.
But I feel like at the same time, this is delicious.
Dude,
By the way.
you gotta try.
Are you sure you can't store them and then have them on a cheat day?
Yeah,
Everybody's watching me. I can't do it.
Oh man, I tried. I'm sorry, I tried.
He's like, I can't hang out with this fat.
But is it possible that businesses will just message people, like DM them and say like, can you show me how many people you have? Like screenshot how many people that likes that, you know what I mean? Just to prove it.
But at the same time, that means you're gonna have to do that a lot. You waste a lot of time doing that. You kind of have. How do you know he's a real influencer if you don't know how many likes? Because having like 100,000 followers is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Engagement is even more important.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
but maybe there's a way, like through the company. It's just that we don't see it. Maybe from a business perspective, I don't know. Maybe they could request something. I don't know.
like, why did they decide to do that in the first place?
Because we live in a society of like, I think it's one of those. I don't know what words to put.
Complainers?
Yes. That's what we got. Like this emoji, you know, but with tears. Like, I think that's the generation we live in. Because I know personally, like, I'll scroll through things and I'll see like a number of likes. I'll never look at it and be like, man, I wish I had that many likes. I'm just kind of like, okay, cool.
Is the content good?
Yeah, if they have that many likes, is it good? Mm-hmm. And then it's usually like a donkey humping a turtle or something. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, all right. And then I just keep scrolling. Yeah.
It's so true. Like, sometimes I watch some of the YouTube videos my kids watch. Mm-hmm. They're so ridiculous. Yeah. Like, people are just doing, like, random stuff, and there's, like, 33 million views. Mm-hmm. Like, how? Mm-hmm. You know, like, but anyways, that's
it's an algorithm, right?
Yeah, algorithm.
And then Lana brought up a good point. She said people can buy followers.
Yeah.
Right? So then that kind of takes away from it, too. And Coach White is asking, why are you wearing one of Dria's earrings?
These are all my earrings.
Maybe who did it first?
Maybe a couple of Dria's backs. I don't know. He's going missing quick.
Very true. Very true. but at the end of the day, I guess, like, unless it's like your business, like, it doesn't really matter.
But that's because, look, both of us were way over 30. Yeah. Some kids under 20.
Well, why you gotta say way over 30? Like, on the downward swing.
Are you 30 or 31?
Am I 30 or 31?
Yeah. Are you 32?
I got a couple years of experience. If you want to put it that way, I mean.
Damn. I didn't know you're that sensitive about your age.
I'm really not. Bruh, I'm black. I age backwards. Are you kidding me? I'm good, man. I got Benjamin Button, man.
I just felt like
I'm actually 73 years old. You kidding me, man? Yo, shout out to Coach, to Chef Henry, man. We haven't seen him in a minute. Shout out to Chef Henry for sure. But you know what? With all this like social media stuff, okay, I was actually having a conversation with one of my coworkers. Shout out to DJ. And we were talking about, social media and hashtag Me Too and and all this stuff that, we're hearing all over the place now. The thing I'm curious about is, actually, let me take that back. He was telling me how there's a policy at Netflix where if you stare at someone for 5 seconds or more, it could be seen as harassment. Oh! Yeah, exactly. So then it made me think of what do you do if like you lock eyes with someone? Because it happens to everyone. I remember last week, like this is why I wanted to make this a topic. So my kids they went to jiu-jitsu and then I was just getting their shoes and then some lady, I guess wanted to get by just to get her kids' boots. And we locked eyes. But it got real awkward because I'm like, do I look left? Do I look right? I'm not really sure what to do here. So I just pulled one of these where it was like, and then I walked away. So, and we've all been in that situation. Oh yeah, we've all been in that situation. Yep. So what do you think when like what should you do when you lock eyes with someone? Like what's the proper eye contact etiquette? Because it makes me think. I'm like I don't really see any situation other than awkward here.
Yeah. I mean, like, obviously when you're talking to, like, somebody, like, obviously you want to make, like, eye contact, but, in that situation, like, Me, like, I take the bus all the time, like, for school. The past, like, 4 years I've been taking the bus. So it's almost every time I'm on the bus, I lock eyes with somebody, or, you know, it happens by accident. But for me, sometimes when I do it, you know, like, usually I'll just kind of look away, but sometimes, like,
she's pretty.
Yeah, that. So you might stare a little more, but sometimes I want to be the last person to look away, kind of thing. I make kind of like a little game kind of thing when I'm
competitive.
Wow.
So like I'll be
He's
looking.
gonna get arrested.
Wow.
So, you know, you try to, like, basically just who looks away first kind of thing. But sometimes it can get awkward. But, you know, I don't do that all the time.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, it's funny when you do that sometimes. But.
I do the same thing when I'm at the grocery store and a kid's staring at me. I'm like, all right, kid, let's see who's going to turn first.
Yeah.
And they're just looking at me like... But then it's more like, have you seen a black person before? It's one of those type of situations. So, and then, you know, when their parents are like, sir, why are you looking at my child? I'll be like, not now. but no, you were going to say something.
No,
sorry.
I think eye contact etiquette is interesting. Because it goes with both sexes, and it goes to same sexes. Like, what do you do when some other dude just stares at you?
Fight him. Fight him.
Yeah. You know, Jackson was saying that he takes the bus all the time. And I did too. And as soon as he walked in the house, I'm like, I know you from the 135. So he used to take the 135, but I recognize the face. But I've never said what's up or whatever, you know? But I remember when he got drafted, you told me about your boy that got drafted, and you showed me a picture. I'm like, oh, that's the dude I see on the bus all the time by that school.
Jean Sauvé.
Jean Sauvé. Yeah. But like in a situation like that, I'm like, I feel like I recognize him. But what do you do? Like, do you say, hey, I know you? Like, I think that's awkward.
That gets real awkward.
That's awkward. Like, oh, okay, you know me how? And then, like, where do you go from there? You know,
that's when you hit him with the big pun. I don't know you, man.
Yeah. But remember I told you last year about my trip to Haiti? My trip to Haiti made me realize this thing. If you accidentally make eye contact with someone there and you don't say what's up, that's rude. Like, that's wrong.
So it's cultural.
Yeah, it's definitely cultural. Like, whether it's a woman or a man, and you make eye contact just by accident, they'll be like, you have no brought up see. Meaning, like, you weren't brought up properly. Yeah. You know, like, you see someone you don't know, or you know, you have to say, hi, how are you? How's your day? But if you don't do that, that was wrong.
Is that kind of like when, you know, a black person sees another black person, like, on school campus, and we're like,
yep.
Like that, and they're like, yo, it happened all the time. It's like, yo, you know him? I'm like, nah.
No, yeah.
It's just like,
you know, it's so cool to do that when you're walking with a white dude or a white person with you, and they notice that, you know. But most of the time, they won't say anything. It's like understood. Yeah. It's like, you know, you know how I feel about that. It's like, I know you're here. If there's anything that happens right this moment, I got your back. And I hope you got mine too, just in case. Yeah. Like, right after high school, I moved to Beauce-et-Appalaches. So, like, 4 hours past Quebec City.
Beauce the what?
Beauce-et-Appalaches.
Jesus.
Yeah, for CJ.
You can't get more French than that, bro.
Yo, dude, it was like a different type of French. You know, like, you know, it was so French, it felt like the original French people that left France, like the really bad ones or whatever, like their accents were so like harsh. It wasn't even like Quebec Joal. It was like something else. Anyways, it was me and my boy. We moved there. We're like the only two black people in the whole town. Yeah. And dude, I stayed close to him just in case, because if anything happens, like, we're both getting our asses whooped. Like, because we're so far away.
Yeah.
We're 8 hours away from regular civilization.
You know what that was? That's like you ever seen that Alonzo Bowden skit where he's like, I moved to a new neighborhood, but I'm the only black guy, and he's like, I saw a little white girl in the distance saying hi, and I just walked in the opposite direction because I know if something happens, I'm suspect number one.
Yep.
I was like, oh, really?
You were making eye contact with that little girl, right?
Oh man.
But for Netflix to do that,
Yeah.
like, it tells me one thing. One of many things is they probably have a really jacked up culture there when it comes to like harassment.
But their programming is great. I'm just putting it out there.
So we allow it, right?
I guess. Is it frowned upon to say that? I think it depends on the context. Like, I'm married. If I make eye contact with a girl who is very attractive, I run in the opposite direction, right? Just to avoid situations, right? And I think at the same time, the whole staring situation, it all depends on the attraction. If it's the opposite sex, right? Because if you stare at someone and she finds you attractive, she'll keep staring. If you staring at someone and she feels like you look like Quasimodo, she's gonna be like, he's making me uncomfortable. So I think it's all dependent on that context.
But what if she changes her mind after?
Then you get a pat on the back.
Why in the world would you get
Challenge accepted.
Damn.
Yo, if you Quasimodo and you get a dime, good on you, man.
Yeah.
But you know what? Speaking of relationships and being awkward, I have a question for you. Okay? So I have a couple of buddies. Again, we both went to Ottawa U, so we've had some guys come through our ranks that have gone to the league and stuff like that, and they've played for different cities. So I've visited a couple of my teammates while they were playing elsewhere and so on and so forth. So these guys get hit on, okay? Often. Now, I'm curious because you're going into your second year and you're what? Early 20s, I would say? So as a 23-year-old, let's say, thinking about age gap, what do you think was the age of the oldest woman that tried to holler at you? I am curious to know about that.
Yo, hit me.
I need to know that. I am very, very, very curious because, like I said, I've seen some stuff, but I'm not an athlete at that level. So I'm always curious, as a 23-year-old, what age are these pumas and cougars trying to holler at you?
That's assuming that they are, right?
Yeah. Assuming they are. They could just be like a young 42 or something. You know what I mean? So, there you go. But I'm curious. You ain't got to name names, and I'm not saying you dated them or anything. I'm just curious, like how they were that hit on you.
This conversation is making him so uncomfortable. It's like my mom's watching the show,
yo. Honestly, I never asked her age, so it wasn't like.
Educated guess.
Yeah, so an educated guess of, I'd say, yeah, like around late 30s, 40.
Late 30s, 40s. Okay, that's a pretty good gap. So what are your thoughts in general about gap? Like, is it possible to have too much of a gap?
Or was that too much of a gap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You?
Yes. Yeah. That was,
Well, it's also because you can get like a 40-year-old that's like, kind of like real old 40 or like J-Lo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So how did that feel, like being picked up by like somebody that could be like your mom's friend?
I mean, it's always flattering getting like, complimented and stuff, and but like it never like crosses my mind like that would be like a potential like relationship. Just like for me, like that's like way too much of a gap for me. But
that's almost 20 years, yo.
Yeah.
So how much is too much?
I mean, everybody's different.
I'm asking you.
But for me,
It's all that media training, yo.
for me, I mean, I've dated somebody that was, just a year older than me. I mean, back in like high school, dating somebody that was a year older was like a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or maybe a year younger, that was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like my age now, it's there's a little bit more of a gap in between like people like in relationships and stuff. But for me, I don't know. It's hard to put like a number on it.
Age ain't nothing but a number. Oh wait, no, that's our Kelly
Who
again.
wrote it?
That's our Kelly again. Who wrote it?
I wonder how he wrote it.
Or what was he doing when he wrote it?
Oh, yeah.
Or who was he doing?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Well, look, I like to think that, well, it's not my thinking, but the general rule is the lowest you can go is divided by 2 plus 7. That's the general rule.
So give an example. If you're
30,
if you're 23,
if you're 23 divided by 2, gives you what, 11 and a half plus 7. So 18 and a half is the lowest you could go. That's the. Nobody knows who created this rule. Nobody created this rule.
it was brought to you by the people at Netflix.
But I put a caveat to that. If you are single and you are 50, it's just divided by 2. That's it.
I go further. If you're single
Okay.
and you're 50, I think it's open market.
Whoa. Well, not open market.
Open market. You could go either like 50 up, 50 down, or not 50.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can't say
like,
open market.
30 down.
You sound like an American politician right now.
But think about it. Like, look at all these women.
Mm-hmm.
Very successful women.
Yeah.
They all have like these 25-year-old boyfriends.
Like who?
Like, shoot, it escaped my mind. Kara, like who?
No idea.
So,
Usually the other way around.
Oh, Kate Beckinsale.
see?
Kate Beckinsale
See?
with Pete Davidson. But
Oh,
isn't
but
that...
they just broke up.
Yeah.
They just broke up.
Okay, well, Jeanette Grimshaw is saying she's 25 and she wouldn't date someone with more than a 5-year difference.
5 years.
5 years.
But it
5 years. Wait, 5 years. Like you being 5 years younger, or you being 5 years older?
I'm in love with a man.
Great song.
Nearly. We need to add that.
Yeah, we have no idea. I Bejo. No, we have no idea who sings that though.
It's
no
not
idea.
Buju Banton.
No, it's
When you
not.
look it up, it always says Buju Banton.
I know, but it's
Yeah,
not.
but it's some other guy.
It's some like abstract person. But
making money off of that song.
yeah,
Yeah.
but in the past, I mean, I'm not singlehood. I think the biggest gap was probably like 9. Like
9 years.
Probably like 9 years. It was a good summer.
I remember that.
It was a good summer. You know what I mean?
I remember that.
But my wife is like a year and 11 months older than me.
That's not bad.
That's
Like,
not bad.
my
But she
wife-
looks younger than me. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
my wife is only
Yeah.
2 years younger than me.
oh, that's nothing.
But I don't know if you've ever talked to someone that's like 10 years younger than you.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big difference. Like, think about it, Jet. You got kids, you got mortgage, you got all these responsibilities, and you're talking to someone who doesn't have any of that.
True.
Like, it's harder to relate.
True.
Right? Like, it's harder to say, yeah, look, I'm a little tired. The kids didn't sleep last night. Meanwhile, like, all she did was party all night. And she's up for it again, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's a huge gap. I don't think I could date anybody like that far younger than me, unless like I'm like 50 and I'm divorced or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And you know, everything is fair game. I wouldn't want to be with somebody like my age or older. They're like on their way out.
You're an ageist.
Yes.
You sound
Yes.
like Patrice O'Neal. Bro.
Yeah, dude. Somebody that's on their way out like me.
What am I gonna do with that?
What am I gonna do with that? Yeah, we're gonna
That's terrible.
share our miseries, yo.
That's terrible.
I can't do that.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
So Jeanette's saying the guy that she likes now is a year and 6 months younger than her, and she's 25.
Oh damn! You're playing True Detective.
Yeah. Wait. Is that like y'all related to something? you have friends, or you don't know who this is?
No, I know who that is, but like,
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
So, here's the thing. How do you feel if the person was a year and a half older than you?
That's fine with me. A year and a half older than me. Yeah, that's fine with me. I mean, like, at that point, it's just
like 25, right?
Yeah,
like
25.
like her, right?
I see what you did. I see what you did there. You smart.
I followed you.
You smart.
Yeah.
You smart.
Yeah.
Now, that's it. Really, age is nothing but a number. So, I do agree with you, though. It depends on when people are, like, where they are in their lives. It can't be a 70-year-old marrying, like, a 30-year-old. Like, come on.
Like Anna Nicole Smith from back in the day.
She married for love.
Love of the money. For love of the money. But I think with age, it really depends how old you feel internally.
True.
Like you might be like 40, but the spirit is 25.
Very
Or I'm 35. In my mind, I haven't gone over 28 yet. Like I feel 28. I don't feel 35.
Your body feels 28?
No, my body feels old.
I was gonna say you're blessed if good for you, man.
That's a good one. You got me. You got me.
But Kirk Patrick was saying it all comes down to maturity, and Erica Tessie said, "I'm down with boy toys." Hashtag cougar.
Moving right along.
I love it. What? Who doesn't like a great cougar?
Okay.
So, speaking of cougars and speaking of dating, Game of Thrones, yo.
Oh,
Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones.
Dude,
my
dating? Okay, look. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler
Spoiler
alert.
alert.
Yeah, if we got to talk about it, then like this is the time to say spoilers because
Spoiler
everything's coming
alert.
out right now.
The biggest thing for me last episode wasn't anybody dying. It was somebody's virginity dying. Yo.
Is it good to say virginity and dying in the same sentence? That doesn't sound
Yo,
really well.
that Pum Pum got killed. The cat got killed.
Why you gotta
Anyways,
say it like that?
so for those of you guys who don't know, the female mountain got mounted by the golden hand Kingslayer. That
You
was
said
crazy.
so much in all of those statements. A golden hand mountain woman.
That blew me. That blew my mind. That was dope.
Yeah.
Like how she got up and Jamie followed, and Tyrion knew. Tyrion's so freaking smart. He knew something was up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then he was like, "Yo, I did all this for Cersei. I gotta go back." I was like, "Oh shoot!" Like some people just don't change.
Yep.
You know, that means after he got a piece of Brienne, he realized that Cersei's piece was way better.
No, because he did it a couple of times. He did it more than once.
Yeah, he did. I think
Yeah,
he did it twice. Yeah.
but he's still going back to Cersei. Though.
Pat pat. No.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's going there to put in work.
with Cersei.
No, not that way. No, he's going in there to do what he has to do.
Anyways, I just couldn't wait to get that out.
So Tess said he took away her cherry beautifully with honor, man. The fact that you said that, yo, you've been hanging out with me too long. That she said he took the cherry.
Damn.
Oh man.
And then he walked out like a douchebag.
Fair.
Yeah. Anyways, what was your favorite scene of the episode? That's episode 4, right?
Yeah.
Episode 4.
Yeah.
I think the ending. I mean, it was my favorite, but it was the most shocking for me. I always forget her name,
Which one?
but Grey Worm's like
Miss Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah. Wow, like I was so happy for them, and like Grey Worm and Sunday were like such like a good couple. And then like when Grey Worm was just watching her, when I saw her on top of like the castle walls, I was like, okay.
Yeah,
This
he's
is-
gonna
it's about to
turn
go
Super
down.
Saiyan, yo.
Yeah.
He's gonna turn
Yes.
Ultra Instinct on
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yo, why do they call the guy with no ding dong Grey Worm? That doesn't seem right.
How many dudes on
I
this
feel like
show
that's wrong.
have no ding dongs?
That's
A
true.
lot.
There's a lot of like eunuchs and stuff on this show. Not
Yeah,
cool. Not
that's
cool.
that's interesting.
But no, I agree with you, man. Like, yo, the mountain's got to die like a horrible death because the way he's done some
Oh,
people.
He's dead.
Well, he's a Frankenstein.
Yeah.
But I mean, the way he's done some people, like he's got to go. Like he's got to go violently.
But how does that work? Like, how is he like Frankenstein like that?
Because remember after he fought the Red Viper or whatever,
Yeah, he was mashed up.
He was mashed up. Like
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was left. If Red Viper didn't dance around,
he should've lost.
That was
he would have
stupid.
lost. It would have been done.
That was as bad as the last episode's Dothraki's running towards
Yeah.
the
White
battle
Walkers.
plan. Yeah, that was so stupid.
All the little flames is going.
Yeah. I think that was just for TV.
Oh man!
Anyway,
Sign
here's-
out, Craig. Sign out. Sign out. He's like. Are you guys talking about Game of Thrones? I'm still at season 2. I'm like, sign out. Sign out. Abort. Abort.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, no, you got to go. Go watch some Crave right now.
Yep.
Go watch Crave TV right now. But yeah, I don't know. I mean.
What do you think about what's his name? He's got a big beard, and he's from the north, like beyond the wall. He's like part of the wildlings.
Oh yeah. The
when
great guy.
when he was crying,
Yeah.
he got
I felt it for him, man.
But then the next girl came and he's like, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. Like he was crying his sorrows to everybody.
Yeah.
Including the Hound.
Yeah.
That was a funny scene.
Were you expecting a red wedding situation because everything was so calm and happy?
Yes.
I thought
really?
yeah,
Yes.
like it was
The beginning of the
the
episode.
beginning of the episode when
Yeah.
everyone was happy.
I was.
It seemed like something was gonna go down.
Oh, I didn't feel that one bit. I feel like what they're doing, they're setting it up, just like they set up the
The war.
the long night, because the first 2 episodes were really slow.
Yeah.
Until that happened. But who do you think is going to kill Cersei?
I don't know if Cersei's dying, man.
Well, remember there was a part where it said like it was like a fortune teller telling Cersei.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
Like-
the prophecy.
yeah, like you'll die and like or all your kids will die or something like that.
Mm-hmm. But she
And-
never said she'll die.
You know, she will. Her little brother will kill her. That's what it said. Yeah, the
So
prophecy.
that means
said.
it's Tyrion. Oh wait,
Tyrion is
Jamie's
not-
younger too.
Yeah,
But Tyrion's
they're
died.
twins.
But Timmy, who's
Cersei and Jamie are twins.
Yeah.
okay? Yeah.
Tyrion is not.
He's not even.
He's not younger than them. I think.
But isn't he part Targaryen anyway?
We don't know that yet on the show.
Yo, that dragon that went in the water, I don't think he did.
Dude, like he's done, man.
Guys, it's fiction. Why they could bring back Ned Stark for all we care. They could be.
the guy.
No, I'm alive. I'm actually the Night King, and I'm not dead. Like,
Going back on Tyrion, remember last week?
Mhm.
I don't know if it was you, but I said it that I think Tyrion is going to betray Daenerys. If you go back to the episode, I said that, but what they showed was Varys trying to tell Tyrion we should betray Daenerys because she's not the rightful ruler and she's not doing the right thing.
you know one scene that I found kind of like, oh, what's going on here? Remember when they're all like celebrating and they're like, oh, to Jon Snow, King of the North, and you see her and she's just kind of like
Yeah,
looking around, and then that's when Varys, I think, looks at her and is like, oh shit.
yeah, Mad
You know what I
Queen.
mean?
Yeah.
Mad Queen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because she's as power hungry as Cersei is.
Yeah.
She's not like they went to attack the city regardless of who dies because the throne is more important to her than the people that she's quote unquote going to save, right? And that's the danger. She's putting too much emphasis on getting power, and that's why she kind of offered Jon Snow the punani, and Jon Snow was like, dude, you're like my auntie, but she's like, I don't want the throne. and she's like, "You better not tell anybody." When that happened, I'm like, she needs to go. She needs to get got.
My favorite quote from that whole situation was when I don't remember if it was Varys who said it. It was like, if 2 people know something, it's a secret. If 8 people know it, it's information.
Yeah.
I was like, that's deep. That's deep. That applies to real life.
Yeah, well, it's true.
It's
Because
very true.
that's how he works with his little birds.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about secrets, hearing stuff, right?
Exactly.
But the smart thing that happened that started that off was Jon telling Sansa and Arya about the situation, and Arya using it to her advantage by telling Tyrion.
I have sisters. You can't tell them shit. I'm joking. I love you guys. I'm joking.
Yeah, so you're gonna say some facts and then say you're
No,
joking.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm joking. Just my sister ruins like movies and stuff for me. That's why.
So,
Monique Newman McIntosh is saying she's watching.
Oh. Hey.
is she 25 too? So,
This guy.
I feel like Daenerys might get killed by the end of the season. I think she might get killed. She might get killed by like somebody close to her.
Did you see how the actress there, Amelia Clark, she was on Jimmy Kimmel, I think?
Who's Amelia Clark?
Daenerys.
Okay.
Did I say that properly?
Yeah.
All right. So, so she was on Jimmy Kimmel, I think it was, and she said even before this episode, she's like, "Yo, for episode 5, find the biggest TV you can find." And I was like,
Yeah.
"What?"
So we should get a brand new TV this
I'd be like,
weekend.
"All right, kids, go to bed. Kids, go to bed right now."
Yo, speaking of kids go to bed, Kara is usually a very calm person, my wife.
Mhm.
Very relaxed, and she doesn't talk much.
Mhm.
I do when we watch things.
Mhm.
Like, she was on. She was like, she couldn't stop talking. She couldn't stop, she couldn't hold her emotions.
Mhm.
And I was moving some tabs on my computer while casting it.
Mhm.
She saw a little bit of a lag, and it's like I got beat up. You know? It's like, what are you doing? You know? But she couldn't stop talking. It's like, dude, let me just watch the show.
But you know what? It's tough because like I'm watching it right now with my wife, and she's like on season 1, maybe.
What?
So we're watching. Well, you know, she's been busy having freaking 4 kids and stuff, so
You've
she hasn't been
been-
watching TV. But like she'll say, "Okay, what's going on there? What's going on there? What's going on there?" I'm cool with it once in a while, and the thing is, because like I'll stream it, so I can't like pause or PVR. So then something happens, and I'm just like. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. But she's usually really cool about it. She usually waits till there's like a moment, like a lag. But then when you have episodes like The Long Night, where like if you go to the bathroom, you miss something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to the next episode.
Yeah,
Something though, like I want to talk about is how. Okay, obviously we said no spoilers, but
Yeah.
there's
No, you can spoil. It's fine.
Oh, we
Okay.
spoiled it
We
already.
spoiled it already. Yeah.
But how did Arya get through the entire like? Okay, first of all, Nut King's got 4 like boss guys that he like that protect him.
Yeah.
And then he's up all the other walkers, like
Yeah.
all the other like whatever.
Yeah.
How does Arya slip through everybody?
I can answer that.
I can
And
answer
get
that too.
Go for it. Let me hear your theory.
Okay.
I have a theory too.
Okay, what's your theory?
Okay, my theory is, I know people say like, in the scene you see, one of his top men like hair go like, and like he looks over. I'm like, there's no way Arya's that fast. This is not like, it's not like a superhero movie. She's not moving that fast with nobody's seen her.
Mm-hmm.
My theory was, you know how she did a lot of training with the many face
Yeah.
whatever there. I feel like she took like. The only way that like that would work, in my opinion, would be like she took a face of like one of the walkers or whatever, and like that's how she slipped through. And like one of the big guys, one of his like
Journals.
one of his generals, yeah, he didn't really like react because he thought it was just one of his other like footmen or whatever. So that's what I think. But
I think like Arya's skill is not necessarily being the best fighter. It's being the stealthiest one. I think her skill is stealth. That's what she's done. That's how she killed most of her people is it's like she's like the punch you don't see coming.
Mm.
Those are the ones that hurt. Like being on the field, somebody comes straight at you, you could absorb some of the hit, but it's on like a kickoff. The guy that comes from the blind side, you don't see.
Yeah.
Like no matter how big you are, chances are you're gonna go down, right?
Yeah.
I think they didn't see her coming because she was very stealthy. She was in that library or that space with them, and they couldn't figure out where she was and how to get to her, right? And she was able to move so stealthily and slowly, and I love that they showed that. Instead of just, it's like showing that kind of, I think they're trying to tell you this is how she got to the Night King. The way she tiptoes around and diverts attention and all that stuff. I think that's how she, because even when the hair on the guy moved, he didn't turn his head. He kind of just like looked, right? Because it was so, like she did it so well, they didn't have a chance to react to it. You know, I do think that it's her stealth that works, and we saw it when that friggin' knife dropped, and then she caught it, and then he didn't see that coming either.
Yeah.
What's your theory?
It's basically a mix of what you guys said. The training that she got with the Many-Faced God, which made her stealthy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, like you said, she was moving around, and it was once like her nose or whatever was bleeding. That's what fell that got their attention. You remember that in the library?
What?
When she was in the library and she was moving around and they couldn't see her, they started to chase her when the blood trickled and fell on the ground. So when the blood fell on the ground, that's what they heard and started going after her.
Even that, sorry man, even that, I felt like that scene was kind of bullshit because they're walking around. They're not being careful either. Why would one little drop be the thing that catches their attention?
So maybe it's because the Many-Faced God is not really alive, and the blood represents life, and then it fell, and then they could hear life but not death. That's a stretch.
No,
That's
I
a stretch.
like that.
That's
I
a
like
stretch.
that.
Think about that,
I like
bro.
that.
Because the Many-Faced God, like, he's not, like, he can't die,
Hmm.
right? So he's already embraced death, and we've seen how dark Arya's gotten,
Yeah.
right? And even to the point, like, even her weapon has now kind of been tailored to that. Because remember how you said she's very stealthy? Her big thing was needle.
Yeah.
Needle was her weapon. Now she got old boy that got the piece to make her a piece, and it's way more like aggressive. You know, that big thing. Anyway.
Yo, when Gendry was like, I'm a lord now, and you'll be my lady. Before she said it, I'm like, she's not a lady.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's not, and she said it. It just made me feel good. I'm like, I follow the show.
Tess said, cue the "Who Run the World, girls."
Yeah.
No, that's pretty dope, man.
But speaking of that, like I feel like the way they did it was really well. Like making Arya a girl, the hero of the thing, and not making it a big deal that it's a girl.
Actually, they made her a woman. Because she got some, then she killed the Night King. So they made sure to make her a woman.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Symbolism.
Because remember, as soon as she got the piece, everybody on Twitter was like, "Is she old enough?"
Everybody Googled it.
Yeah, she's
Everybody
like,
Googled
"How
it.
old is she?" Right? And they showed that she in the show she's like 18 or something, but in real life she's like 22.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Something like that.
yeah. But Arya is the man, and I love that Drake shouted her out. Did you see that in the I think the American Music Awards or something like that? The Billboard Music Awards.
Okay.
He accepted his this trophy.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Shout out to Arya for putting in work last night."
So he spoiled it. Kind of ish.
Kinda, yeah.
Does that,
It was
oh
like-
man, hold on a sec. You just said Drake said that? Oh, that means Arya's gonna die. The Drake
Oh.
curse, bro.
Drake curse. No more Drake curse. You saw what happened last night,
Did you
son?
see what happened in Barcelona? Did you see what happened to the Maple Leafs?
Did you see,
Did you see what happened to Conor McGregor?
Did you
see what happened to everybody?
Did you see what happened to Toronto yesterday?
Yes, I did.
Look, this is like a Janet Jackson song. Is what have you done for me lately?
You didn't see what happened in Barcelona, did you?
But did you see what happened to Toronto?
Yeah.
Toronto murked these dudes, man.
You know what I was thinking about in that situation? If the beef was still going with Drake and Meek Mill, this series would have been amazing.
True, because you saw Meek Mill at the Philly games and you see Drake.
But that's what I'm
But
saying.
now they're like homies.
Now they're homies. Did you ever notice even in the song "Going Bad"? I think with Drake and Meek Mill off his new album. There's a part where Meek says, "Drake and Meek going back to back," and they said back to back, and I was like, "Ugh."
Yeah,
He dissed you with a back to back. Now you saying back to back.
But
Is that your girls tour or world tour?
He's on top of the world now. Like he's wanted and needed. He's a.
That's true. But it would have been fun to see that beef while they're playing. The stakes would have been much higher.
Yeah, but it's like a couple years late though. Yeah.
But now we just have Kawhi going Super Saiyan.
So before we get into that, I want to finish with the Game of Thrones shit. Okay?
Yeah, let's finish.
What's happening next episode?
Everybody dying.
What's happening next episode?
Obviously, we're gonna get a huge battle. It's gonna be crazy. I like how the episodes are like a lot longer now too.
Yes.
It's just like,
yeah.
And it's crazy. I don't know if you guys noticed, but at the end of this episode, even after I thought they do like the classic like cliffhanger where, you know, they kill
Missandei.
Missandei. They like right as like the mountain like is about to cut her head off, they like finished the episode.
Yeah.
But it just like kept on going and going, and like they showed everybody's emotions and
kept
stuff.
on going. Are you talking about her head or
No. It's like the show itself.
Yeah.
And like it showed like Daenerys and like Grey Worm like
Getting
like
upset.
more emotions. So I like how they just like they give you that extra little bit.
Yeah.
At every episode.
Speaking of that Missandei scene, the main thing that Kara couldn't stop talking about is like as Cersei got closer to Missandei and says, "Do you have any last words?" Kara's like, "Why didn't Missandei just wrap her friggin' shackles around Cersei's neck
and
jump
with
and
it.
jump?" I wanted to tell her, like, Kara, come on, man, like that's a stretch, but it made sense.
It would have been dope.
It made sense.
But you know what? Cersei would have probably like turned it around and landed on her, and then went like this, and then walked back into the palace.
I said, kick her in the stomach. Because the things that she cares most about is her kids.
That's true. Yo,
Kick
you
her.
dark, yo.
Yo,
You a
Game
dark
of Thrones,
dude.
son.
Yo,
Cersei said that when you're playing the Game of Thrones, you either win or you die.
yo, that's what I forgot. So, someone put a meme out there, and they said Jamie represents every fuckboy that every girl has ever dealt with. I was dying when I saw that, and they just showed Brienne Tarth by herself crying.
Crying
I was
like a little
oh,
girl.
I was like,
Oh,
that's so
man.
wrong. That's so wrong. That's
Like
so
he
wrong.
can't ever come back. He can't.
Well,
ever...
he could, unless he does like some grand gestures that I did it like for you type of thing.
You know, I feel bad for Brienne because it's like she'll never be the same again. Like she won't be as, you know, like
Now she's soft because she got the D.
But she also got knighted.
That's true.
by him.
Was that a pun? Hey, she got knighted. She got knighted.
You're such a friggin' dad, yeah.
Yo, you know what'd be great if like in episode 6 we find out she's pregnant and then like the show ends.
Who? Brienne?
Brienne.
That'd be crazy.
And then the show ends and everybody's like, what happens? And then like they make a Game of Thrones movie.
I'm hoping. You know what I feel like? I feel like this show might end similar to how The Wire ended. I don't know if you ever watched The Wire. Oh,
You
I
need to
watched
get
it.
on that. You need to get on that.
Yeah.
Best show in the history of television. Game of
Yeah?
Thrones is now rivaling it
Yeah.
a lot,
Oh, okay.
but it's by far.
Is
that-
it on Netflix? Is it what?
No.
No.
It was an HBO show.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You gotta stream that, man. Come on now. Come on, we in that generation now. You gotta stream that. Yo, Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, The Wire,
In Sopranos.
and Sopranos. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Like if you
What?
watch.
Well, in his defense, he was probably like 6 when
Yeah.
it came out. you know?
Yeah.
In your defense, you know.
Yeah.
What you were gonna say? Sorry.
Basically, the way The Wire ended, what they showed, they didn't really show you any like major conclusions. What they showed it was that it's a vicious cycle. Certain characters that you've learned to love become other characters now. So they take on the role of other people.
They
like,
develop.
Yeah. So like, let's say you liked a certain gangster on the show because it's about the drug game in Baltimore. If you like a certain gangster and that gangster gets killed, you're like, oh, Lee, like he's done. But they show you that this other character that you were watching as a kid or whatever slowly becomes that. So no matter what, you kind of see the evolution, but you see the revolution of it. I feel like that might be something we might see at the end of this show. Like we might see Arya becoming like the Hound type. You know, I'm not saying that specifically, but we might see that, and we might see Jon Snow becoming like his dad. What's his name? Ned Stark, who just wanted Ned. Ned could have been the real king, you know, but he didn't want that. He wanted to just be with his family and have the simple life. Even when Robert Baratheon offered him the hand of the king, he didn't want it, right? But guess what happened? He ended up dying because of it. Oh snap! Jon Snow's gonna die. Jon Snow's gonna die like his dad. Whoa!
Let's see what happens.
Damn.
Yo, on that note, let's stop the show because we could talk about the Raptors when the series is over. We could talk about this. No, we'll talk about the series we'll talk about when the series is over.
I do think though, this is quiet after the season. Quiet's gone.
Of course,
because I could see it in his demeanor. He's like, man, I gotta do all this by myself, huh? Like every game. Like he doesn't really mix with the rest of the team, man.
But he's like that everywhere. He didn't mesh with San Antonio either. So
guess what? He left.
Yeah, but I think he's just socially awkward. That's just the way he is.
I don't know.
There was an analyst after, because you know how they do the post game stuff, and the analyst said something very profound and very true. When Kawhi finished talking to the reporter, he said, "Kawhi is actually smiling. His face just doesn't know it yet." It was so accurate when he said that. I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's with Kawhi. That's when he hits you with the
yeah. So, there's a big game going on right now. It's Boston versus
Milwaukee.
Boston is gone. So for sure, Kyrie is gonna join the Knicks with KD
and Zion Williamson.
Yeah. Oh,
they have the first pick overall, I think, or they have like the best chance.
So he joined the draft.
Yeah, he declared. He declared.
Man, that's like 1 year, right? Or
yeah, but that's what they're doing now. But the NBA is trying to bring it back down so that they don't have to go to college anymore.
That's
they go
crazy.
straight to high school.
Just straight off topic. I know you gotta go, but like being a pro, do you feel like you could have joined the league when you're like 18?
No, like,
you can say yes. I mean,
like, because basketball is a little different from football.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're actually dealing with men, like, big dudes.
But isn't it a different sport, though?
Yeah. I mean, like when you get to the pros, like, the guys are a lot older than you, have a lot more experience. So, like, I felt like when I was at university, I gained, a lot more things that I needed to be, like, where I am now kind of thing. I don't think, like, I could have just went, high school, boom, to, like, pros.
Time to develop.
Yeah.
Unless you're like a LeBron type, right?
Yeah.
Or you were made in a petri dish.
Yeah. So what is your guess as to who's gonna go in the finals this year?
Oh, I don't know, man.
Anybody from the West. So the West. Who's winning the West?
Portland.
Portland is gone, man. They lost so bad yesterday.
Did they?
By 30.
Really?
By 30 points.
That center for Denver is he's a G.
He's the center, but he's like their point guard.
Yeah, Nikola Jokic.
Jokic. Yeah, they call him Joker.
Yo, anytime they have an itch in their name, they're ballers.
So Denver's gonna win that series, and they're gonna face whoever wins between.
I want Houston to win.
Houston.
I want them to win.
If you guys watched the game last night, friggin', what's his name deserves to be MVP. Harden is on
but
point.
Giannis is gonna win it though.
Maybe. But if you watch what Harden does,
he does that all the time though.
it's like on a different level, man.
He does that all the time. Good job, Westbrook. You alienated all of them.
All of them. Everybody.
But you know what? At the end of the day, it's the coach that should be fired. How you gonna leave Harden on the bench?
Yeah. Well, maybe he wasn't ready. Like he said.
He wasn't ready.
Anyways, who's winning? Who's winning the?
Sorry.
Who's going to the finals?
I like Houston. I like Houston a lot. Who else?
So you like Houston?
I
So
like
that's
Houston.
the West.
Yeah.
The East, Toronto or
I'm just guessing now.
Toronto or the Bucks.
East is a toss up.
I'm gonna go with Toronto.
Toronto.
Toronto. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
What you, son?
Told you.
Houston?
Houston, Toronto. That'd be a nice spot.
I don't know if Toronto can handle the Bucks.
I would love to. Handle the Bucks. They'll be fine.
They're
They'll be
more
fine.
consistent.
They'll be fine.
than Toronto.
They'll be fine. Because they're gonna put Marc Gasol on Giannis. They'll be fine. Marc Gasol and Ibaka, just make them eat fouls and just smother him. Who else? They have Middleton, and then who else?
I don't know, man.
Anyway, that's for another show, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Remember, guys, this is a podcast, so it's going to be up in the next 24 to 48 hours. If you haven't had a chance to watch the video, you could hear Jackson's beautiful voice on the podcast. Make sure.
What number are you? If ever the Tiger Cats are playing in town, what number should they look out for?
Number 29.
29.
Bennett.
29. There you go. 29 Bennett.
Yeah.
So thank you again for coming. Thank you, Oh My Cheesecakes. As you can see, it's gone.
These are from my 3 kids.
Some of that's for the wife.
Yeah.
Or else. As if
I'm
me.
taking this one. You can have the rest.
Oh, let me take half. What are you talking about?
No, I'm taking this one.
Half.
Kara doesn't eat sweets.
Half. That's what I just said. Half.
Half what?
Split it in half.
No, I just want this one.
No, I'm gonna split it in half.
I'm giving you all of these, and I'm just taking.
I'm
this
not
one.
negotiating.
Oh,
I do not negotiate with terrorists.
Look, the
Half.
creme brulee is amazing. The caramel,
you're not
the
sell-
salted
nope, you're not
caramel
selling me.
is
Stop it.
delicious. This cherry.
We'll talk
one
about
is-
it off the
is-
show. We'll
is
talk about it
awesome.
once the show is over.
This one is not that good.
We'll talk about it out. So why you want it?
I'm trying to save you from something.
We'll talk about it after the
Okay.
show. Anyhow, to do. Shout out to you, Lana. Thank you once again. Oh My Cheesecake. And like we said, look out for number 29 on the field. Number 29 on the field.
Bennett.
Number 1 in your hearts. And next week, you guys, we're gonna mix it up a little bit next week. We're gonna be streaming live from our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll post it afterwards, but make sure we'll post it later. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel or else you're gonna miss all this.
Yeah.
You're gonna miss all this. You don't want to do that. Come on now.
And you'll have access to it anytime you want.
Exactly. All right. So now again, shout out to Weso featuring Jay King for that popular demand joint, On Fire, and shout out to a Rub for the Who Cares joint. So you guys look for that on Spotify
And on
in our playlist.
on YouTube as well.
On YouTube as well. Yes.
I creative directed the video, so check it out.
Hey, we'll post that too.
Yeah.
We'll post that too. All right. So that's it for us. Be safe, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you again, sir.
Appreciate
Bye.
it. Thank you.
Man, you
Thanks
sure
for
you,
coming
you
through.
sure you don't have a cheat day soon?
I can't,
Oh
man.
Lord, that's dedication. That's dedication.
If you watch Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super, you'll know something called the fusion technique. The thing with the way there's a few ways of doing it. One of them they do this dance, and this
Yeah.
other ones
Yeah.
they put an earring
Yeah.
on. So Tyrone and Bennett, Tyrone had the same earring.
Did he have all that?
Yeah, he had the same one. So if they can come together and make like a super DB, almost make a safety
Yeah, but Tyrone's a receiver. So they
tight end.
So his name is Hueso. That means bones, which means he is not big enough to be a tight end. God bless him, but he is not big enough to be a tight end. So they might actually clash on the field. Though.
Yeah,
There you go.
he plays for
He plays for Red Blacks.
the Red Blacks. So
See, his face got serious. Saw his face got serious.
we should go see that show.
Somebody gonna get to hurt.
when they come to town, we should go.
All right, we'll do that.
June 1st.
That's right.
June 1st?
Preseason game, first
Oh
preseason
wow,
Okay.
that's like next week. That's so soon.
Take a
Very
couple
soon.
weeks.
Oh,
game. Couple weeks, few weeks.
okay. Now I understand why you didn't want the cake, man.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm still thinking NFL, like August and
Yeah.
September,
Okay.
right?
Fine.
Yeah. Oh, so like you're like in the mix of it.
Yeah, leave it next week.
So thank you even more for coming.
Yeah, man. Respect.
Hey, man.
Yeah, because this is late.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right, y'all.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.
Take care.
Peace.